I wonder if the bumblebee flies around me because I look like a pretty little purple flower. It's pretty nice and peaceful here today. Well, like usual, not that close to the airport or to train tracks and to a not very busy gravel road. This morning I saw a woodpecker with beautiful colors, and he couldn't decide which tree to. But Maverick wasn't around because he was flying from tree to tree, but not super high up the tree. Maverick probably would have tried to jump. It would have been fun for them to play a little bit. I don't think he would have caught the bird, and the bird would have probably not freaked out. I think would just fly to another tree. But he didn't pick one to pick around here. I'm hearing the bird back there. And so remember the previous years on the 1st of each month, today's May 1st, 2024, I was posting Master of Science and Ecocentric Worldview. And there's some that I filmed where I talk about the husband of a lady who gave me a reference letter. But it's not just him, and he's probably not as bad as some of the other ones there, but they're part of a small clique group that, for them, they believe they're avant-garde and they are accurate in everything they say, but they're missing so many elements of what they say, and you can still see they talk about it in ways like they're having a barbecue at home, being the comfortable elites. And so they're not going to allow me, that would shake their status quo at an older age, or when they care enough to only do what they're doing. They don't care enough to do more or to be unpopular in what they say. And of course, this is the Anthropocene. If what they're saying is true, it's unpopular, and they could even be talking about the human condition aspects of it, not just the chemical or physical aspects of it, if they understood the Anthropocene. The Anthropocene is what we're doing. Yet they're not ready, right? They want to die believing that for their kids and grandkids they've done more than most. Except with the internet and with followers and with all the networking and connections they have, you could also do the equation in a different way, that they are doing less than most. And this could be said of most celebrities, actors. What's his name? Ruffalo, the guy that plays the Hulk. He does say a few things that are not right going on in the world, but he's still kind of wanting to film more movies and things like that, and there's a limit, because even Disney and Marvel would fire him if he started saying too many things in too many ways that are right on the ball and confront even politicians and things like that, or people that are big companies associated with Disney or Marvel. So of course there's a limit, and that makes people more the villains of history than the heroes of history, because they have all this power and they don't get the point that with great power comes great responsibility. And the power of the internet and of followers and of viewers is, well, one of the greatest powers ever. Now the bad guys are doing it where they have no scruples. But the good guys are still very much limited by their own comfort zones, which in fact adds to the strength of growing the internet, which again is being more intensely used by the bad guys. So I'm sorry, but this ecocentric worldview, if I would post it, it would say this. It would say that most of your heroes in climate-related things, in Israel-Gaza-related things, look at how ridiculous Biden and Trump are, and that there's no other candidates right now. And there's very few, if any, news coverage being said, why is nobody talking about mostly the choice, or at least it will appear to be to, redneck Americans, is that it's either one or the other. So if somebody shows up at the last minute, they probably wouldn't win, because they should have been in the race a long time now, saying different things and acting different ways than Biden and Trump, who are both, I mean, they're no more competent for the role than, you know, a guy or girl that just finished high school with above average grades. He sounds like he might be ready to come back inside and have a little bit of food. And so, or I'll give him a couple of snacks just to show him how great it was that he went on the roof and jumped down by himself. He could climb up by himself on the roof. Maybe I'll teach him that. He's learning a lot of human thinking tools. Now, I say human because it's a habit, but I'm teaching him cat thinking tools in a way that, you know, there's no other cats to teach him and to role model and mimic for him right now. So I'm giving him the reasonable challenges. And again, oh man, he got 1 hour of cuddling this morning. He was so lucky, but he was respectful. Last night I wanted my bed to myself after badminton without taking a shower, because there's no showers there, and you know, I'm not going to go to the pool and pay again and get bad customer service there when I try to give feedback about what my experience is like, and it's like people pretend like they want it, but they don't want it. So it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. So to finish up is, you know, an ecocentric worldview, it creates the kind of behaviors and the kind of peace of mind about right and wrong that is so simple. And I'm going to film a vlog about this episode of Star Trek I'm watching, where again, there's an element of hope, as if we learn from hardships as a species. But even if we do, even if somehow we come out of this Anthropocene, and I'm talking about in hundreds of years, our ancestors, descendants, might come out with some totally new form of way to attempt a stable civilization, is they will still need to address the fact that, do we really need to be a species that never passes pre-pubescent stages by always needing these great catastrophes where scientists that live comfortable lives with their elitism but are really promoting, again, the mediums that serve more the bad guys, like the monetary paradigm. I've seen so many cultures where I could be helping them already, and yet there's so many micromanagement, various stakeholders for where each dollar goes. So it's a magical paradigm, and people think they have a different worldview, but they don't realize they're cult members in these magical paradigms, where every dollar has to be assigned somewhere in this way. And it's like politicians that work really hard to have money invested in this. You just laundered money, that's all you did. You have no clue what culture repair requires. And a lot less is about money than to give an inspirational speech. And I don't know any politicians today, including Green Party, that can give an inspirational speech, especially one that is linked to the natural world and not to the supernatural. Because if you do it wearing a cross, or if you do it again with the economics mentioned in it, you're not really credible to me.